the school is growing, the tool company is growing, but I've always had a passion to give back and to help. I feel like that it's not how much money you make, but it's what you do with the money that you have. Are you a good steward? If you just do what's right, you'll kind of see miracles happen. It's so true that in our weakness, we are strong. And I don't think people really realize what that means.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. Today we have Trey Byrum of Alabama Pipe Welders Academy, a school for welding. He also has a foundation to help the students, and he's got a tool company where he has developed the product. He's taping with us today, but last night he was aired on National Geographic, and Bobby Bones came to Mobile to visit him, tour his shop, and tell his story. Hey, I'm Karen. I'm a former CPA, entrepreneur, business consultant with big ideas.
Welcome to Cheers to Business.
Trey Byrum, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
I met you when I was looking for welders for Marine Exhaust Systems of Alabama that my brother and I own.
That's right, I remember. You were looking for some welders, and we had talked about sending some over to you and me coming over to the shop. I just haven't been able to make it over yet.
That's all right. I'm there on Wednesdays, and my brother's there all the time.
Okay.
And the whole crew over there. We've got probably 14, 15 welders in the back, and I call them artists.
That's right.
So you were part of Alabama Pipe Welders Academy, correct?
Yes, I'm the founder and owner of the school. About 5 years ago, I started it. It was just me and 5 booths when we started out, and I didn't even have any welding machines. When a student would come in and pay, I'd go rent the welding machine to train him on. So it was really humble beginnings, from the bottom, grassroots type beginning.
What made you do this?
Well, I was in the Navy. I learned how to weld there. I came back to Mobile and welded around here, got on a pipeline out in Theodore. It was run by PTL Pipeline Technique, and there was some guys doing welding inspection. And I said, how do you get that guy's job? He said, well, just go take the test. And I think I left that job early and went and took the test and passed it and started inspecting. And that, was a lot of traveling. I went all over the world with that and decided to come home. I worked at Austal for some QC work over there and decided to join the 119 Union Hall here in town, local pipe fitters union. And I was working up at Berry Steam Plant, and my mother had a surgery, supposed to be outpatient, and I was going to go pick her up. Well, they called me and said, the back surgery went bad, and she was paralyzed, and they didn't know if it was going to be permanent, but most likely temporary, but she was going to need help over the next so many months. And I talked to my steward, and I said, hey, I need to get a layoff so I can get unemployment. I'm going to have to take care of my mom. She's divorced from my father and not remarried, and my brother lived in California, and I'm the only sibling, only one to really take care of her. And so we moved in with my mom, me and my wife and my kids. But while I was there taking care of her, we were on food stamps, unemployment, and I'm trying to figure out how to make ends meet. And I had come up with a joke with my foreman. I was out welding out in the front of Berry Steam Plant in a tent, a little temporary fab shop. And he said, is there anything I can get you out here to make life better? I said, yeah, one of them fancy tungsten sharpeners, And he said, we got one. I said, where is it? And he pointed at me. That was his running joke that I was the tungsten sharpener. I said, well, all right, whatever. So I grabbed a fitting, 3/4 inch little coupling, and screwed it on the end of a Dremel tool and drilled a hole at a certain angle and started sharpening my tungsten. And that's kind of where this idea came from. And when I was taking care of my mother in my garage, I decided to go further with it and develop it into something that was marketable. And from there, it was just, I've learned how to make molds. And
can I stop you for a second?
Sure.
What is tungsten?
Tungsten is the electrode that you use in TIG welding. It's the actual piece of metal that the electricity flows out of. It has a really high melting point. So the electricity can flow through it, and every other metal will melt but the tungsten will stay, it won't consume. And then the point of it is, it's kind of like drawing. If your tungsten's sharp, then your pencil sharp, you can, be more precise. And if your tungsten is dull, then, it's like drawing with one of those kindergarten fat crayons.
Okay.
So you want it sharp all the time.
That's so cool. I thought you just had the school, but you have a tool company? What is it?
Yes. It's called Scotsman Tools. That's kind of, my granddaddy, they're from Scotland, so we called it Scotsman Tools. And it's, specialty welding tools. We sell TIG rigs and tungsten sharpeners and 2-hole pin, all kinds of cool stuff. ScotsmanTools.com.
So tell me about that product you developed.
So the product was a attachment for a Dremel to sharpen tungsten. And, that's how it all started. The tool company, Scotsman Tools was the name of it.
Do you have a patent on it?
Yes, I actually do have a patent on it. We have a few other patents pending on some other tools. So, yeah. What
do you call the product?
We call it the Scotsman Tungsten Sharpener Attachment Kit. And, the original one, we've developed it. That's 6 years ago. I don't even think the original one is still sold. We're down to like, you have like version 1, 2, 3, 4. We're on like generation 3 tungsten sharpener. So, we're always making improvements and research and development. And I have the perfect research and development right here. I have 50 students out here. I come up with something new. I just throw it out there and tell them to break it. We were selling these little attachments for a Dremel tool all over the world. And it helped make ends meet. And so I said, but this isn't going to be enough to support us. And I said, Mom still couldn't really walk very good. And I said, I'm going to have to do something to where I can be home and be my own boss. And so I started building welding booths in my garage. I didn't know where the building was going to be. I didn't know. I just knew, the first step is build the booths, then find out where I was going to put them, and then find a student, and then find another, so it was just real simple step-by-step things. And, some people kind of looked at me crazy and what makes you think you can just go start a school? And I said, well, I'm already teaching the guys in the field, I'm a journeyman. I got apprentices under me. So, plus I had the best training, in my opinion, anywhere from the Navy. They have the best of the best training, facilities, curriculums, instructors, things like that. I'm a Navy man. So.
All right. So tell where you are now. I took the virtual tour on YouTube, and it was amazing.
So we started with 5 booths, and I was just renting a little section of a 20-foot by 20-foot area of this warehouse that was full of valves. And so now today we have like 30 booths. We have 5 instructors, around 40 students. We have all these practical real world scenarios where they're welding from confined spaces, welding from heights, live water lines, tube walls, convection boxes, 4-post jigs, pipe racks. And, you name it, we got it. And, we're always adding to it. The tool company is also grown, and it's in the same building. And when we started to grow, we had the vendors coming out, the weld supply vendors coming out and saying, hey, we want to supply your gas. What about your students? They need their student kits. I said, I tell you what, you can supply my student kits, but you're going to have to supply every tool on this list brand specific. And, of course, they said, no problem. We can do that. I said, all right, if you say so. And they called me back a couple of days later and said, hey, we're having trouble finding this stuff from Scotsman Tools. I said, well, hold on. I got the manager's number right here. And, gave them my wife's telephone number, and she set up the deal with them. And it was our tool company. And so they had to buy from us, minimum order quantity. So now all of my students get my tools.
That is so smart. That is brilliant.
And that got us in the door with these vendors who would have never let me just come in and be put my product on their shelves. It forced them to. And now I have probably 4 or 5 schools across the country that use our tools and the things that we do. And that's growing. We're trying to get into more schools, and the school is growing, the tool company is growing, but I've always had a passion to give back and to help. I feel like that it's not how much money you make, but it's what you do with the money that you have. Are you a good steward? You're always going to have bills. You're always going to have things to pay off. But what about the stuff that you've been given right now? Even when I decided to build a bunkhouse to house these guys in, it was, well, we have to pay off this, and this isn't a good business move. And this isn't, I said, look, there's always going to be bills to pay. There's always going to be, the money could be better be used for business wise. I said, but these guys aren't always going to have somebody willing to help them. And we built it out, and it was probably a few months later, National Geographic shows up, and I hung up on them a couple times because I thought they were trying to sell me their magazine. And finally they got through to me that they wanted to do an episode at the school. And at the very end, I think they gifted me with, like 3 times the amount of money that I spent on it originally. So it was,
I didn't even know that until I looked at your website about National Geographic. How freaking cool is that? And you got to meet Bobby Bones?
Yeah, he was here. Bobby Bones is awesome. We got to be on the show, a whole episode, and we watched it last night. It aired. It was good. I mean, I guess I was kind of a natural. The banter back and forth between us was great. It was funny, and I enjoyed it. I really did.
Mobile produces another star. Congratulations.
I wouldn't say a star. A wannabe.
Okay, there you go. We're all wannabes. Even at 55, I'm a wannabe. So how do I go back and watch it now? Because I really want to watch it.
You can download the National Geographic app and watch Bobby Bones, Hulu's subscription, Disney Plus, so any of those you can.
Hey, who'd you watch the show with last night?
My family, my wife's family, my brother was there and his wife and all the kids. It was fun.
It was like draft night. The whole family's there. So do other businesses help you help others?
Yes, we partner with a few businesses. I have, a few people that give us fab work to help support the ARC Foundation. We actually, at first, when I was doing all this work, it was just out of my own pocket, which it still is. Basically, but my accountant said, look, you got to have to start a 501(c), make this legitimate, or the government's going to get onto you with the taxes and all. So we did that. And so we have people that give us fab work to help support that. Those guys that are coming out of jail or rehab, they'll work and they get paid by this fabrication work that they're doing. And we send them through the school. And, we house them, we employ them. And it's just kind of like there is no time frame other than when they're ready to get back on their feet. We mentor them while they're here. We work with the Wings of Life and other rehabs, and we work with Mobile Police Department, the SCORE program, and the Fatherhood Initiative, Commander Graves. We work with Sydney Rain at the Career Center. They all play a part in helping these guys get grants and money and get schooling. So it's a community effort, and there's definitely some key players.
I kind of want to go back to the Pipe Welders Academy and looked at your YouTube on the virtual tour. 97% get a job.
That's correct. The people that graduate we have in the high 90s. Our employment rate after graduation.
That's phenomenal. So how many did you say students you have right now, and how do they pay for it?
We have about 42 to 50 students right now, and we have the GI Bill. You can come, veterans can come. We have Climb credit. We trade up. We have the Career Center that offers grants. So we have multiple options of financing and grants available on our website. They can just go straight through the web.
I even heard on that virtual tour that you'll take weekly payments if you have to.
Yeah, I will. I will. I work with people. That's one of the things that that's kind of how we got started, is we would work with people.
Your story is just amazing, and it makes my heart grow. Not only because of my affiliation with welding, but also just good human stuff. Now, how does somebody find out
Right.
about you? How do they, if they're looking to either be a student or support, how do they get in touch with you?
So if you go to alabamapipewelders.com, that would be for the school. And then if we'd really love some support for the foundation, and you go to myarc foundation.org, and you can see, we were just featured on National Geographic with this Breaking Bobby Bones. And the whole reason he came here was to tell the story about the ARC Foundation and what we do for the community. And that was basically what got their attention. There's a website there, and it tells, there's talks about our stories and our projects and our foundation and our mission statement. We definitely would love some more support from, the community. Anybody that has some fab work that they could throw our way, that helps these guys stay making money, keeps them busy, keeps them doing things that they can say at the end of the day, look what I did, and take pride in things. And they look at this weld, Trey, and they're getting paid good money to do it. And part of it goes back to the foundation. And so we're still small, it's humble beginnings, and we're looking into maybe trying to write a grant. I don't even know what, I'm just doing what I feel like I need to do out of my heart for people, maybe like when I was God's will for my life. But as far as all the other stuff, the money, I just, just have faith, and we seem to get by.
I have two more questions. One, how's your mom?
My mom is walking now. She's doing good. She has one foot that didn't come back. It's called a condition called drop foot. And so she's doing great. She's proud. Every open house, I make sure and honor her publicly in front of everybody. Taking care of her, making that sacrifice was, part of the
journey,
the beginning of the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's pretty amazing.
So everybody out there, make sure you take care of your mom.
That's right. I hope everybody's listening to that. Now, you put something out there that I saw on Facebook, and I had just found out that my husband had prostate cancer. And you were out praising God because your wife was cleared of cancer. And so I want you to know that you touched me. When I saw that, I needed to hear that. I needed to see that. I needed to remember to thank God. He's doing good now. He's got to have radiation in September. But you touched. So thank you. You had an impact.
Yeah, that was definitely whenever, if God puts me in a place of influence, and I get a chance to praise him about things that happen, I make sure I do it. I feel like if I don't, I can't sleep at night. And my wife, the last 6 months she went through radiation and chemo. She had a tumor at the base of her skull, and it's gone now. And we do these Facebook Live giveaways, and we had gone to the doctor that day, and he went in and looked, and he was like, "Man, it looks amazing." And she cried at the beginning 6 months ago because she was, everything that was going on, and she didn't even drop a tear, and I was over there bawling, just so happy that it was gone. Everything was going good. And I made sure when I got to school that live video, I had to give God the glory.
Well, I saw it.
And tell people,
Yeah. No, that was, the timing on that was just fate. Well, I tell you what, prayers for you and your family, and hats off, man. Cheers to you. Cheers to giving back and the people that you're able to help. And I do hashtag Welding Wednesday on Instagram every Wednesday, that I go over and take pictures and go yay team. And it's hashtag get a trade. People don't realize, nothing against people getting, English majors.
Yeah. Yeah, the trade is the way to go. And one more thing, right now, I reached out to the front of our Connex bunkhouse, we painted it white, and I decided to have like a graffiti contest, and I got with the warden at the Mobile Metro Jail, and he's got some inmates down here that we're having a contest, and it's for money, and we're going to donate some to the sheriff's department. The winner of the contest gets like $2,000. Second place gets $1,000. MAIC is going to get a donation. So we have three contestants. We need one more person because we had it and we split it into 4 sections. And so they're down here drawing on painting these murals that have to do with second chances and welding and faith.
Oh,
and that's going on right now.
I can't wait to see it. Where are you physically located?
715 St. Emmanuel Street.
I'm going to ride by right when I leave the studio today.
I think they take the inmates back at 2:30, but you can see where they've been painting and the progress.
Well, you're going to have to come see me so we can talk my brother into doing something. I know we've hired people from your academy, and they're great. So we look forward to future business relationships.
Sure, I will be by. I will definitely come see you.
Well, Trey, we ask everybody to give a cheers at the end of every show, and so what's your cheers?
My cheers is to doing the next right thing, and have faith, love the Lord your God with all your heart, and then your soul and your mind. And then the second commandment is love your neighbor. And if you can do those, I think you can be successful.
I tell you what, going from Navy, taking that trade that you learned there, going to work, then stepping up and going to the next step as an inspector. I had quite a few inspectors as tax clients of mine. Taking tragedy, and I've said this, especially at the beginning of COVID, that if you take something and then you stop long enough to look for the opportunities around you, then do some good. And life pays off.
Definitely. It's so true that in our weakness, we are strong. And I don't think people really realize what that means. And that's my strength came from my weakness of, not having the money and taking care of my mom and being at a disadvantage. And in my weakness, I became strong. It's just something to think about.
And the lives you now touch.
Yeah.
All right, Trey, I think I've asked you enough questions. I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. It was just so amazing.
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed telling the story. I hope it motivates people and inspires people.
Cheers.
See you soon.
Bye.
Please be sure to subscribe to Cheers to Business podcast on iTunes or anywhere else that you get your podcast. Visit our Facebook and be sure to give us a like. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to discuss, shoot us an email from the website cheerstobusiness.com.